PGV is an internal startup studio within Procter & Gamble, and our purpose is to be able to partner with entrepreneurs who have great ideas within the key categories or spaces that we're looking to work in.
You know, as we work with entrepreneurs, one thing that P&G Ventures brings is all the infrastructure that comes around with P&G. Everything from supply chains to R&D, regulatory, branding, communication, endorsements, things like that, because we have been around 180 years across many, many categories, we have a lot of relationships and a lot of skill base. And making that accessible to entrepreneurs is really where we think the magic happens.
Procter had all of the capability necessary, this deep and comprehensive expertise in doing this consumer product development. And so one of the things that happened in this partnership is they were able to help us understand where are the gaps. We as a team started to recognize the gaps, and then they leaned in with intense level of expertise to start to fill those gaps.
PGV brought in so many great resources for us, and they just supported us through the whole thing. They had specialists that knew exactly what to do. It was really incredible, and it just took everything to a whole new level, somewhere we didn't think we'd ever get.
There's a lot of stuff that we've learned how to do well because we're great at it or just because we failed at it. And there's a ton of things that entrepreneurs just shouldn't have to learn if they've got the right partner. When it comes to filing patents, when it comes to regulatory navigation, when it comes to how do you sell into a Home Depot or a Target, that's stuff that we do every day.
Well, without partnership, I don't think we could achieve changing the market. It's just not marketing and getting into retail, and it's just not technology that really works and solves a consumer problem. It's the marriage of the two.
One thing I love about this job is watching dreams come true for entrepreneurs. They have passion and energy, and they are determined to solve a problem for a consumer. And a lot of the issue sometimes is the how. And being able to see the products on shelf and see it in Target and Walmart or online, seeing those dreams come alive for those entrepreneurs and for P&G Ventures together as a partner, that makes for a good day.
Well, hello, and welcome to our 5th P&G Ventures Innovation Challenge. So despite all the challenges of CES, we remain committed to giving a platform for entrepreneurs to share their innovation. Actually, this is our 3rd virtual innovation challenge. So we screened through hundreds of potential founders to come up with the 4 we have today, partnering with Kite SRM. We chose these partners based on fit with our categories, consumer pain and solution, the size of the prize of the business model, and whether they truly have a product that performed against the consumer, and a business plan and founding team. They will have 5 minutes each to pitch their idea, and then after that, we'll turn to the judges, and the judges will have 5 to 6 minutes to ask them questions. The winner will then be chosen, and they will win $10,000 from P&G Ventures and the possibility of potentially partnering with P&G Ventures. While the judges are deliberating, we have a special treat for you. We have Lee Radford, the founder and senior vice president of P&G Ventures, is interviewing serial entrepreneur and co-founder of Revitalize Ventures, Clarence Wooten. So with that, let me introduce the judges. First, we have Alex Betancourt, vice president of P&G Ventures within the new business unit of Procter & Gamble. Second, we have Mike Jensen, Senior Vice President of R&D, P&G Ventures, part of the new business unit within Procter & Gamble. We have Michael Olmstead, Chief Revenue Officer at Plug and Play. And Anna Duggal, Partner of Female Founders Fund. Thank you for these esteemed judges joining us today. So let me share who the finalists are before we get started. First, we have Daniel Zakowski, CEO and founder of Ready Set Food. Ready Set Food helps families prevent babies from them developing severe food allergies. Next, we have Ben Dror-Bendis. He's part of Nano Spun. Nano Spun develops and produces disruptive live-action 3D tissue. Third, we have David Dill, CEO and president of Wellesley Pharmaceuticals, LLC. Wellesley has developed a solution to nocturnia. And last, we have Juliana Carvalho from OneSkin. OneSkin has developed a proprietary peptide as a proven ingredient to reverse skin aging. So with that, we're very excited to start our first pitch today. Let me introduce you once again to Daniel Zukowski.
Hi, I'm Daniel Zukowski, and I'm CEO and co-founder of Ready Set Food. I started this company after my nephew developed a number of severe food allergies, and I'm really excited to be here with you because we have an opportunity to end the food allergy epidemic. Globally, food allergies are on the rise, with 1 in 13 babies in the US getting a severe food allergy. That's 2 in every classroom. And they've been dramatically on the rise in the US with rates doubling or tripling in recent decades. And it's an issue that affects not only healthcare costs, but really affects quality of life. Which is why it's so amazing that there's an opportunity to prevent up to 80% of severe food allergies from developing in the first place, just by feeding babies small amounts of allergens, starting from a young age and doing it frequently for an extended period of time. This approach has been supported by so many clinical trials that we now have major medical guidelines and major dietary guidelines in the US and internationally saying that every baby should eat allergens starting from a young age and doing it frequently. In the US, we've seen the American Academy of Allergy and Asthma, as well as the USDA dietary guidelines, say that every parent should do this process. And while it's wonderful that the guidelines say that every parent should do this and that we have an opportunity to change public health, no one tells you how. And that's really a problem because we've seen that parents really struggle with feeding their baby these allergens early and often. And even in the largest clinical trial, when parents volunteered for a clinical trial and had supportive doctors and nurses, still more than half of them weren't able to do it. So we know that when we take this to a population level, parents really need help, which is why we're very excited to have what's fundamentally the easiest way to feed allergens to babies early and often. We've taken peanut, egg, and milk and made a powder that dissolves in breast milk or formula so that it's very easy, no matter your feeding approach, to get allergens fed to your baby in the exact same method used in the clinical trials that we know will be effective at preventing food allergies. And it's so easy that while we've seen in the clinical trial less than 50% compliance, our product is so easy that we've seen over 95% compliance. And because it's just real food, it's not only something that parents feel comfortable with, but it's inexpensive enough that parents can afford it to give to their baby at only $1 a day. We not only have a product that's very easy for everyone to use, but it's also backed by science. We've worked with top allergists to make sure that we're using the exact dose and ingredients that were used in the clinical trials, and that's now been validated by third-party analysis, showing that we're using the exact dose and ingredients we should be. And that we've also now demonstrated that we follow all the medical guidelines that are necessary, like following the approach pediatricians recommend to introduce each allergen only 1 at a time, waiting 4 days between each one, which our guided system makes very easy for every parent to do. And like I mentioned before, our product is just real food with no additives or no preservatives, so we know that every parent will feel comfortable feeding it to their baby. The way that works in our system is that our first stage introduces the allergens, peanut, egg, and milk, which make up 80% of food allergies in the US, introduces them 1 at a time, and then stage 2 keeps the right doses in your baby's diet while they're only able to eat a bottle. And then once you're able to transition your baby over to food, eating food on a regular basis, not just once or twice, then you can expand the number of allergens you're getting to your baby to protect them against all top 9 allergens with an additive that is not only protective against food allergies, but also has a high amount of protein. So it's a very healthy additive for your baby, which is why we're going to have lots of other opportunities to include our stage 3 powder into other form factors, whether it's the oatmeal or the applesauce or the puffs that your baby is already eating. Giving us really great LTV opportunities in a really exciting new category that's going to be a multi-billion-dollar category where we have fundamentally the best IP and also the best approach of using the right dose, not having additional additives. So we've not just seen this with our current product in the market, but with the new products we'll be launching, there's enormous opportunity, and we have a far superior approach to our competitors. And we've seen customers recognize that. We've not just had our patent approved, but we've seen 4 times year-over-year growth. And that we've seen recognition from food giants like Danone as our lead investor to date, as well as from healthcare systems like Edward Elmhurst, who's invested in us also. So we have both the kind of the food excitement as well as the healthcare excitement that show that this is going to be an opportunity not just to build an exciting new category, but to help a lot of babies. Which is why it's important. We also worked with top doctors. I'm extremely lucky that my co-founder is an allergist, Dr. Katie Marks-Kogan, but also that we were able to work with top doctors like Dr. Jonathan Spergel, who's the head of allergy at CHOP, to make sure that we're following the right doses and ingredients that will be both safe and effective at preventing food allergies. And that's so important because there is a big revenue opportunity here, but there's also a big mission opportunity where if every parent could follow the new guidelines, we'd have over 200,000 fewer babies every single year that develop severe food allergies. And with Procter & Gamble as a partner and leveraging Procter & Gamble's expertise in retail and in consumer awareness and in building credibility, Ready Set Food and Procter & Gamble together can help build an exciting new category and help an enormous amount of babies from developing severe food allergies. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. That was fascinating. Now we're going to go to our judges. Any of our judges have a question?
Yeah, I'll ask a quick question.
Mike, why don't we go to you?
Great. So, Daniel, great pitch. Thank you for the time. I'll start with a consumer question, I guess. Do these parents know that their children have the probability of developing an allergy, so it's kind of solving a problem, or is this preventing the problem from occurring for young children?
That's a good question. So there are certain risk factors that indicate that your baby's at a high risk of getting a food allergy. For example, babies that have eczema have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a food allergy compared to about a 1 in 12 chance in general. But new medical guidelines do say that every single baby should be eating allergens starting at 4 months of age and doing it frequently to prevent food allergies. So there are areas where it is better to target, but this is a general population preventative measure.
Thank you. Michael, you had a question?
Yeah, so the baby would start eating or trying your solution at 4 months, roughly, and then what's the LTV of the baby from just a revenue perspective?
Great question. So with our current products, we have a 12-month utilization period with about a $360 LTV, and that gets all the different allergens as part of your baby's diet that comprise the top 90% of childhood food allergies in the amount and duration that was used in the clinical trials. But that allergists will all tell parents that it's really important to keep allergens as part of their baby's diet on an ongoing basis. So we're now developing, in the next 9 months, we'll be launching a number of different products that have the common snack foods that babies eat, but with the allergens already pre-mixed inside, because that will not only be protective against food allergies, but also you're adding the protein part of nuts and seeds back into baby food. So you're making applesauce or whatever form factor it is more healthy by adding nut and seed protein, and also protecting against food allergies on an ongoing basis, leveraging kind of the brand credibility we have from that earlier introduction where we have more defensibility, more IP, and more kind of opportunity for long-term value creation, but that the other food products allow us to extend LTV in the long term.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Questions, Alex?
Yeah. Hey, Daniel, thank you. Great pitch. And as a father myself of a 9-year-old boy and now a 6-month-old baby, I realize the differences that I lived through with regards to allergens, right? So what are you finding, what are you learning on how to create the trust of something that just 6 to 9 years ago was completely counterintuitive to what you are bringing to the table? How are you creating that trust for consumers to first try, for parents to first, frankly, try Ready Set Food?
So, there is a lot of awareness that we have to build. I think the great news is, though, that there's a lot of different other organizations and people with an incentive to also help build awareness in this area. So, especially now that you have medical guidelines that say that every parent should do this and that every provider should be talking about it, I think we have the kind of traditional direct-to-consumer, e-commerce tactics of online advertising, working with influencers, working with brand partners. But in addition to that, because of these guidelines and the kind of the special topic that we work with, we're also able to partner with healthcare providers and healthcare systems to get awareness out there in a much more scalable fashion. So, for example, just this month, we're launching educational partnerships system-wide at Providence, where they have 77,000 babies a year, and also with Maven Clinic, where they have 16,000 babies a year and growing. So I think there's a lot of opportunity because there's new guidelines that these providers need to implement, on which we really have some of the nation's top expertise on our medical board. We have an opportunity to provide them with great educational content that can then help grow awareness, but also in ways that more directly benefit us in that awareness building. So I think that both the kind of direct-to-consumer tactics combined with kind of these healthcare partnership and opportunities allow us a great opportunity to build awareness faster than you would have in a category like this otherwise.
Thank you so much, Daniel. That was really, really excellent. So that was Ready, Set, Food. Now next up, we have Ohad Vendor-Bendis from Nano Spun Technology. Ohad?
Hi, everybody. Nice meeting you. My name is Ohad, and I'm the founder and CEO of Nano Spun Technologies. In this presentation, I will tell you more about Nano Spun and our live active skincare products. The 21st century is a biotech era with extensive use of cells in medical, pharma, health, and industrial applications. However, cells integration is challenging and production technologies are inadequate. NanoSpun solution is based on a novel bioprinting and advanced material technology. Our products are live, active tissues made out of cells and organisms. NanoSpun vision and mission is to harness the power of biology and bridge between biological capabilities and industrial needs, creating superior products made from live, active cells. NanoSpun technology has vast applicability, from skincare to medical, and from energy to pharma. Our go-to-market strategy and immediate focus is skincare. The skincare markets are multi-billion-dollar markets and are rapidly growing. The face mask market is estimated at $1.5 billion, and the wound care market is estimated at $20 billion. NanoSpun product improve the skin health and beauty by providing healthy, effective microbiome protection. The skin is a vital barrier between us and the environment. The skin microbiome, the good bacteria in our skin, is an essential line of defense. It releases vital elements such as vitamins, acids, and proteins. Healthy microbiome increases hydration, elasticity, and anti-aging. It decreases UV damage, wrinkles, and sensitivity. However, the skin microbiome is exposed daily to harmful substances, including soap, cosmetics, and pollution. So how can we support and protect the skin microbiome? How can we defend our guards? NanoSpun has the answer. NanoSpun second skin products are live active probiotic skincare tissues. Our products are made from the good bacteria and release fresh, active compounds to the skin. NanoSpun products modulate and improve the skin microbiome and boost the skin health and beauty. Other products claim to include probiotic bacteria. NanoSpun product actually delivers. Little bit as to the company business model and time to market. NanoSpun products offer high gross margins. We adopted B2B model and plan to sell our product under NanoSpun brand and our partners' brands via our global and regional partners. We already proven performance of the probiotics in our products, as well as long shelf life and stability. Going forward, we will complete skin models testing and GMP approval early next year, and will start sales and marketing and distribution thereafter. We are ready to make a splash. NanoSpun offers fully developed, right deep technology, as well as industrial production capabilities. The company has very strong IP, including 8 patents already granted worldwide, 4 in process, and vast know-how. Another barrier for competitors is our proprietary production machinery. Future product may include plant and human stem cells product, therapeutic, personalized medicine and cell therapy solution, and other probiotic hygiene and care solutions. Little bit about the company. NanoSpun emerged out of the Technion, Israel Institute of Technology. It has highly skilled and experienced team and 2 sites, R&D center in Israel and headquarters in the US. Along the years, NanoSpun was granted many honors and awards, including first place in Clean Equity Monaco. We look forward to revolutionize the skincare industry, build solid strategic collaboration with P&G, and work closely together, especially with regard to our go-to-market strategy, sales, marketing, and distribution, and manufacturing, especially packaging. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ohad. I'm sure the judges have wonderful questions too and want to learn more. Who has the first question?
Thank you again for the opportunity. Hi, everybody.
Anu?
Happy to go first.
So congratulations on a great presentation. Would love to hear a little bit more about your go-to-market strategy as it relates to, are you direct to consumer? Who exactly are you selling into?
Yeah, thank you. And Nano Spun adopted the B2B business model, and we are selling directly to our business partners, the regional business partners and the global business partners. So we're selling both to regional partners in Japan, in the Middle East, in Europe, in the US, as well as for global partners, selling our product under our own brand as well as their brands.
Great, thanks. Thank you. Anyone else? Mike, I knew you'd have a question.
Ohad, I was wondering if you could share a little bit. It seems like a lot of your IP is really revolving around the manufacturing integration process. Can you talk a little bit about why that's so important and why you believe you've got a unique kind of moat in that space?
Yeah, thank you. Nano Spun in essence is bridging between biological capabilities and the industry needs. We've got a proprietary technology that enable a bioprinting of product made out of cells, live cells. Current technologies are very limited in the capability to maintain the cells live and active. Nano Spun revolutionary IP, including, by the way, patents, know-how, and proprietary production machine, enable you to take those live cells and live organisms and print tissues or 3D structure out of them. So skincare is merely the tip of the iceberg, this capability to integrate live cells, including further medical and other type of applications that are based on cells activity. So this is very, very unique. So far, the capability to integrate live cells within production processes were absent due to both toxicity as well as usually temperature of the processes. Nano Spun solved those two issues and create industrial scale production capabilities. We are already printing our fabrics in thousands of square meters per day, so we can meet any market demand starting from tomorrow.
Thank you. Alex.
Hey, Ohad, congratulations. Alex? This is incredibly interesting. So talking about possibilities, have you, as I understand per your presentation, you now have face masks as your hero product. Have you shown viability for some other type of applications? You were referring to some. Have you done actually, and have you created prototypes around that? Can you talk more about possibilities in the future that you saw, that you shared in probably I think it was your last slide?
Yeah, definitely, and thank you. It's a very important question. The skincare is merely the tip of the iceberg, and we already demonstrated working a product with the skincare solution encapsulating probiotic bacteria. But on the same time, we already encapsulated other type of cells that has additional applications both in the pharma as well as in the medical space, and demonstrated, yes, we can take them, yes, we can maintain them alive, yes, we can maintain their characteristics within those structures. Then the structure can be some kind of a fabric or any type of 3D structure. So the answer is definitely yes. Tactically and strategically, we are starting from the less regulated market, which is the beauty skincare application. We'll move very quickly into the therapeutical skincare solutions, and then the door is open for the very exciting cell therapy personalized medicine solution, where you can see those printers printing solution for specific patient before any procedure that is going to go through. So it is very exciting, and the reason that we start with the beauty industry is because we can, and because the time to market is much shorter.
Thank you.
Answering
Anyone
your question,
else?
yes, we demonstrated the ability to encapsulate variety types of organisms on cells. Thank you.
Excellent. Well done. Thank you so much. Ohad, we really appreciate it. It was a great presentation. Thank you. And with that, we're going to go to David Dill of Wellesley Pharmaceuticals.
I'm David Dill, CEO of Wellesley. We have a simple and effective OTC solution to nocturia, the frequent need to urinate at night. No matter how nice your bathroom is, you don't want to visit it at 3 a.m. Nocturia's sleep disturbance has serious health issues. It affects 2.4 billion, mostly over age 50. For 76% of them, the body produces too much PGE2, which makes a partially full bladder feel like it will burst. It's known as low bladder capacity. Poor sleep causes obesity, heart disease, and stroke. Constant interruption of deep sleep interferes with brain protein cleansing, causing high rates of dementia. One study measured sick leave and productivity losses at 215 billion. No drug treats low bladder capacity, so we created Nocturol. Each pill contains acetaminophen and ibuprofen. These drugs work synergistically to reduce PGE2. Nocturol has no side effects due to the low dose, which is less than 15% of the recommended daily dose of the drugs. Our extended release formula is key to 9-hour protection. It will cost less than a nickel to manufacture, so the price should be very low. I discovered the power of this drug by accident. I had terrible back muscle spasms, so I took serious drugs. My doctor said if they returned, I should take ibuprofen to reduce inflammation and acetaminophen for pain. When the spasms came back, I took them. I noticed my own urination improved. I was producing more urine each time and less often. Compared to the prescription desmopressin, which carries a black box warning and causes blood disorders, our phase 2 results were far better. It treats excessive urination rather than low bladder capacity. Nocturol reduced trips to the bathroom by 0.9 per night. More important, almost a quarter of patients had a 50 to 96% reduction, and over a third had a 25 to 50% reduction. That's why an independent study listed us as number 1. We have better efficacy, no side effects, a lower price, and OTC. World's leading Nocturia expert, Dr. Weiss, agrees. He saw results and wrote, "The study is stunning. Congratulations. It is a monumental achievement." He believes it will become the go-to drug for all urologists. We've received 40 patents, method of use patents using acetaminophen with any NSAID. We cover a wide dose range so no one can bypass them. We also have patents on 2 other drugs that interfere with PGE2. There's a patent pending for weight loss, since that's what we observed in our phase 2 trial. In phase 3, starting later this year, we expect better results. It will involve more women, as they make up 52% of Nocturia patients, but we're only a fifth of our phase 2 trial. We plan to focus only on patients with low bladder capacity, the group served by Nocturol. We'll provide a single dose, since that is as effective as the triple dose. We'll include 100 patients for a year, 500 for 6 months, and 900 for 12 weeks. We expect to conclude FDA review by Q3 2023 and have Nocturol on store shelves later that year. The market size for Nocturol is massive. One U.S. licensing prospect described the market as humongous and expects us to sell multiple billions. Our China prospects expect sales of 10 billion by year 3. Since Nocturol causes many issues, insurance companies will want to cover most of the cost. I have decades of executive experience. Our scientific advisory board includes the acclaimed Dr. Weiss and another famous urologist, Dr. Blavis. Dr. Garvey is a drug safety and FDA expert. Dr. Wang has been named one of the top 1,000 lawyers 6 times. We'd like to bring the drug to market with P&G because you know how to market OTC drugs and get them in stores worldwide. Since hundreds of millions of people need it, we need a partner that can execute mass distribution. Too many needlessly suffer from nocturia. We can bring a safe and effective solution to market. Together we'll improve sleep, help prevent chronic disease, and avoid 3M trips to the bathroom. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much, David. That was fascinating. Now, who would like to go with their first question?
I can go. Okay, go Mike. Or Michael.
Michael, go ahead.
I just had a quick question. Is the idea I'd need to be on this forever, or will eventually it help so that it solves my problem?
No, it doesn't solve the problem. It only solves it for 9 hours. So you need to take it every night.
Very helpful. Mike, you have a question?
Yeah, David, the nocturia, I'm assuming that's a medical term that people are diagnosed with. Is it related to the PGE measure, or is it related to number of night interruptions, or how is that defined? And then when we talk about 0.9 voids versus 0.4, for the normal consumer, is that getting them to a full night's sleep, or is that usually just cutting the number of nighttime interruptions by a percentage?
Two questions there.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, the point is that every time you go to the bathroom, there's a danger. There's a blood pressure spike, and there's a danger of falling, and there's a danger of insomnia. So we want to reduce it as much as possible to avoid those issues. So that's the point. And what was the other question?
So I think the question was, David, does it reduce the number of frequency of time, or when you urinate less volume?
No, the drug reduces frequency, and because it reduces frequency, that means there'll be more volume each time you urinate.
Excellent. And there was a question on PEG, Mike, wasn't there?
Is nocturia a medical term, and are they defining it based on frequency of night interruption, or is it a medical term based on PGE content?
Nocturia is a medical term. Nocturia is a medical term.
I had a quick question. Is this something that would be covered by insurance? Or how are you thinking about distribution?
If insurance companies realize that it reduces depression and heart disease and stroke and blood pressure spikes, I think insurance companies will want to cover a huge percentage of the cost.
But initially, you don't expect it to be correct.
I don't expect what?
Initially, the business model is not to have insurance cover it. You were assuming that over time they would want to cover it. That's correct? Is that what you?
No, we're going to have an expert talk to insurance companies in the next few months, and they'll confirm the logic of wanting to cover the costs because of all the savings they'll get from them.
Great. Well, thank you very much, David. That was really fascinating, and we appreciate your time. So next, we're going to go to Juliana Carvalho. Juliana is the founder of OneSkin.
Hello, I'm Juliana, co-founder of OneSkin, and I'm here to talk a little bit about how our company is developing products to extend skin and body longevity. From a very early age, I knew I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to make discoveries and to turn them into benefits to people's lives, especially the lives from my loved ones. In my family, we frequently suffer from skin disorders. My grandfather died from melanoma. My mom went through skin cancer twice. And whenever I'm too stressed, I have skin rashes. So skin health is a very personal thing to me. And and it is increasingly clear that skin health influences body health. Recently, it was shown that by restoring age-related loss of the skin barrier, it is possible to induce a decrease in inflammation and markers for risk of mortality in aged volunteers. Surprisingly though, skin health is a completely overlooked theme in the field of longevity. But OneSkin is here to change this. We have developed a topical supplement formulation to extend skin and body health. And unlike most interventions in our healthcare system, OS1 does not treat the symptoms, but the underlying cause of the aging process. After spending a few years of research to understand aging at the molecular level, we identified a central process to aging, the accumulation of damaged or senescent cells, which behave as bad apples in a basket, spoiling skin health and function. And by preventing the accumulation of bad apple cells in the skin, we improve skin structure and decrease the skin biological age, as shown here. This measurement is one of the most valuable assets of OneSkin, since it is an algorithm that exclusively uses DNA to calculate skin age. So it is not wild guessing as other rejuvenation claims you may have seen before. OS1 really makes skin behave like younger skin. We have recently launched our product via D2C. Our retail price is $120 or $99 for subscribers who can select to receive the product every 30, 60, or 90 days. We have been able to build a loyal customer base with 72% of last month's sales coming from subscribers, a subscriber stick rate reaching 83%, and an overall retention rate of 63%. So our numbers clearly show that we are on track to reach 7-digit figures in our first year of D2C operations. This is probably because our customers are experiencing what we have observed in clinical studies. After 12 weeks of daily use, we observed that OS1 topical supplement leads to no side effects, as well as a healthier skin with better barrier function, fewer fine lines, and better overall appearance. Many of those users contact us to share their impression, and we're learning so much from them. For instance, many users say they are using a smaller amount of skin products on their daily routine after OS1. They also observe improvements in skin conditions such as rosacea, melasma, and eczema. While we have not done clinical studies, we have seen anti-inflammatory effects in the lab and will design studies to address that. Our users mainly include 30-plus females interested in longevity who recognize and appreciate our holistic approach to sow skin health to harvest better looking and functioning skin. So compared with everything else in the store shelf, only OS1 focuses on longevity, meeting the needs of our customers. The market for our technology and product is quite significant. The longevity market will reach $600 billion by 2025, and skin longevity has enormous potential for growth here. Our revenue stream starts with our D2C business, but we're now exploring to expand it to partnerships with clinics and dermatologists. Another source of revenue is the age calculation algorithm and peptide licensing, which we're currently discussing with major companies in the industry, not only for dermatology, but for life extension and other applications. The people behind all of this include 4 female Latin American PhD co-founders, supported by a great team of employees, advisors, and collaborators. We're very proud of our results so far, but of course we're convinced that P&G would help us to scale to reach more consumers and distribute to retail, so partnership with P&G is a major goal for OneSkin. We started OneSkin because we want to live in a future in which people grow older and continue to enjoy life with their loved ones. P&G can help us bring skin health to the longevity field, impacting millions or even billions of lives. We look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juliana. I'm sure there are great questions. Who would like to go first? Alex, please.
Well, Juliana, thank you for the presentation. Your product looks great. I have a question on your user base. So you've talked about very strong subscription results. So I'd love to find out the split between 30, 60, and 90-day subscribers. And for those who are buying but not subscribing, what is the repeat rate? So double question, right? Split 30, 60, 90 for subscribers. For non-subscribers, what is the repeat rate that you're seeing?
So most of our subscribers, they subscribe for 30-day product renewal. And we see that our customers are mainly aware and worried about longevity, so they have really liked our product and they continue using it. I couldn't catch the second question. So considering the non-subscribers, I couldn't catch.
Are you seeing repeat rate? Yeah, are you seeing repeat rate in those who do not subscribe but buy your product without a subscription, right? Are these people coming back to you? And if so, at what rate?
Oh, so when we consider the overall retention rate is 63%, so it is counterbalancing our over 80% subscription rate. I don't have the exact number, but you can see that retention rate is a little lower. But overall, we do have an over 60% stick rate, considering subscribers and non-subscribers.
Next question,
yeah, so
Michael.
I just have a quick question. So we've been looking at a lot of companies in this space, just surely off the fact that like women spend so much money like on a monthly basis on just skin routines, like $330 a month or something like that, and are still their needs are unmet because they're using this like, you know, method of it feels like it's working. How do you help the consumer know that your product is helping their skin look better, feel better, get healthier?
Yes, this is already occurring. So our customers, they do feel that skin is getting healthier. As mentioned in our pitch, some consumers share with us benefits they're witnessing in their skin, including inflammatory disorders that might be being improved by the use of our product. But we plan to establish a partnership in the short term to launch our DNA methylation algorithm as a D2C assay, so consumers can test their skin and to show that their skin is working as younger skin. So this algorithm is a great asset for OneSkin. We want to explore that. It analyzes over 2,000 features of the DNA of the skin. So it will definitely provide quantitative data on how the skin is improving.
Great. Mike.
Juliana, does OneSkin own the algorithm? Did you guys develop that, and is that proprietary or unique to OneSkin?
Yes, so we have dedicated ourselves to do research for the last 5 years, and we have screened and optimized OS1 as a peptide that works as a xenotherapeutic molecule, a molecule that fights bad apple cells, not only in the skin, but in other anatomical sites in our body. And this is proprietary. OneSkin has filed 4 definitive patents. They're still pending, and they protect the peptide, our technology platform, the mechanism of action, and some derivative molecules that we have also developed during this time.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anything else? That was a wonderful discussion. Thank you so much, Juliana. I'll tell you what, I would not want to be one of the judges now, as they have to go through these 4 amazing presentations and determine the winner, although they were all excellent. But I have a special treat for you, as I said earlier. Right now, we're going to cut over to Lee Radford, VP and founder of P&G Ventures, and she's going to be talking to Clarence Wooten, co-founder of Revitalize Studio and a serial entrepreneur, as he talks about what he learned as an entrepreneur. Thank you. Be back.
Hi, everyone. Lee Radford. I'm the Senior Vice President of P&G Ventures and also founder of the group. I am thrilled today to be here with Clarence Wooten, a longtime friend of P&G Ventures and serial entrepreneur. We've been focusing on creating new businesses for the past 6 years. Very proud of what P&G Ventures has done with entrepreneurs in creating multiple businesses. But today, what we're learning is that every entrepreneur is different, everyone, and the journey that they go on is really unique. So really bringing in Clarence is to share with you a lot of his history and learnings through his amazing journey, and it really has been an amazing journey. And so without further ado, Clarence, welcome. Tell me about yourself and just set up the journey you've been on.
Wow. Well, first off, Lee, thanks for having me. As you mentioned, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been building internet companies primarily since I completed undergrad in the mid 90s, way back then, before startups were really something that was considered to be sexy. I've had two pretty big successes, but I also had several failures along the way. I think oftentimes as entrepreneurs, we only talk about the successes, but we learn from failing. The key is, failing fast and failing cheap. This is a little bit about my background. So one of the first companies I co-founded was called imagecafe.com. Image Cafe was acquired by Network Solutions, which was the GoDaddy of its time, publicly traded company. And more recently, I founded a company called Progressly that was acquired by Box. So many of us are familiar with Box in terms of cloud storage. So kind of uniquely, as far as I know, I'm the only African-American entrepreneur who's built two internet startups that were acquired by publicly traded companies. So I guess that puts me in a unique position. I don't really like that statistic. I would love for there to be a lot more Black founders, particularly in tech, that have great exit outcomes, and which is a big part of what I'm doing today. So I'm also co-founder with my longtime business partner, Andre Ford, of a venture studio called Revitalize. Our mission is to change the complexion of tech by building breakout software startups led by Black founders and diverse teams. And we also want to empower underestimated, underrepresented communities to achieve equity. And that's what I'm focused on today. So I'm happy to share about my journey throughout this discussion and be helpful to entrepreneurs in any way that I possibly can.
Is there any other final thought that you want to leave on these entrepreneurs that are following in your footsteps and others? What advice you would give them?
Yeah, certainly. I think I get this question a lot, so I have a programmed answer. When I think about the success that I've had, and I really zero in on four things: passion, focus, persistence, and luck. Passion is really, really important, because if you're not passionate about your idea, you're not going to be able to get an investor excited. You're not going to be able to get an employee excited. So your passion should come through when you're talking about your vision in your company. So only spend time working on things that you're going to be passionate about for a long time, because again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Focus is really, really important, because it's really, really easy to get distracted and chase little pots of gold along the way and not be focused. One of the easiest things to do as an entrepreneur is to not be focused. One of the harder things to do is to focus. And you have limited resources when you're founding something, limited manpower and limited capital. So focus is everything. Persistence is number three. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs that weren't really, they might not have even had passion or focus, but they were persistent. And that persistence pays off in entrepreneurship. So even if you have one failure, fail forward, do another startup, right? The second one, you'll probably be much, much better because of the failure you had the first time. So that persistence is absolutely critical. And then last but not least is luck. But luck is when opportunity meets preparation. So to a large degree, we create our own luck. So we've done the research, the homework, we have our narrative down, we know what's out there, we know how we want to execute, we know who the players are. And, because we have information at our fingertips through the internet, we should be very, very prepared. And when opportunities come our way, you'll be able to take advantage of them. And you'll come across as being very, very lucky. But really, again, luck is when, you're prepared. And so those are the four things, I guess, parting words I would give of advice to entrepreneurs.
Thank you. So just in closing, I would love for you to talk a little bit about the Revitalize, Venture Studio and what you're trying to accomplish, because it seems to be maybe it's not the pinnacle, maybe it's something even beyond this, but it definitely seems to be an accumulation of all the years leading up to this. So talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So, after spending a greater part of a decade in Silicon Valley, as a Black entrepreneur, it bothers me that there's very little diversity. And for me, just being real, if I don't see Black and brown people, I don't think there's a lot of diversity. Now, there's other forms of diversity. Silicon Valley is a very international place, but not a very diverse place. Only 2% of all of these, of employees in Silicon Valley are Black. Only less than 1% of venture capital dollars go to Black founders. And so, I co-founded Revitalize with my longtime business partner, Andre Ford, to really change that. And I think to change that, we need to build some successful companies that are diverse from the outset. So our mission is to transform the complexion of tech by building breakout software startups led by Black founders and diverse teams. And we also want to leverage our platform to empower underestimated, underrepresented communities to achieve equity. So I'm kind of at that crossroads at this point in my career where I want to focus on things where profit meets purpose. Where you can build a big business at scale, but also solve problems, right? Tech solved a lot of problems, but it also creates a lot of problems. I mean, we've seen a lot of that in various election cycles and everything else with the addiction to social media. So I want to do things that solve those problems. And I've always, been an entrepreneur. Even as an investor, I'm an entrepreneur first. And so the venture studio model is ideal for that because it enables me and my partner to co-found companies with Black founders and diverse teams. And our goal is to turn a couple of these companies over the next decade into unicorns, companies with market values in excess of $1 billion. And we know that diversity starts from the outset. If you want to build a diverse company, you need diverse founder DNA and diverse management, upper level management team DNA. I often use this example. If Larry or Sergey, founders of Google, if either one of those guys were African American, you can't tell me that Google wouldn't have 20% black workforce. And a lot of that spilled over to other Silicon Valley companies as well. And so, the way to change the discussion is to be successful. And so, I'm excited about leveraging my past experience, the experience of my partner, the resources we bring to bear to build companies with Black founders and diverse teams.
Great. Hey, Clarence, it is such an honor to hear this story and how you've been on your journey. But what I love most is what you just shared about how you're going to, pay it back. So I love it. And so I just want to thank you for, all of your advice and, spending time with me today and sharing your message forward. It is quite an honor.
Thank you, Lee. I really enjoyed it. And it's always been great. I like what you built at Procter & Gamble Ventures.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. It sounds like the judges are having a really tough time making a decision. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about P&G Ventures and the great work we're doing here. As I said earlier, P&G Ventures is a startup studio within Procter & Gamble that's looking to partner with founders and entrepreneurs in spaces where we currently do not serve the consumer today. Please look to follow us on LinkedIn at P&G Ventures Studio, on Twitter at PGV Studio, or please look at our website at pgventurestudio.com for a lot more information. I also want to thank our judges, Anna Duggal, founding partner at the Female Founders Fund, Michael Olmstead, Chief Revenue Officer at Plug and Play, and then, of course, Alex Betancourt, Vice President of P&GV within the new business unit, and Mike Jensen, Senior Vice President of R&D within P&GV of the new business unit of Procter & Gamble. I also want to thank the great presenters and the great companies that joined us today. I definitely feel like consumers' lives are much, much better because of the work they're doing. So please thank Daniel Zukowski from Ready Set Food, Ohad Bendror-Bendis from Nano Spun Technology, David Dill from Wellesley Pharmaceuticals, and Juliana Carvalho from OneSkin. Thank you to them and the work they're doing to make consumers' lives better every single day. Are we ready?
Yes, we are. So I want to start, I want to pick up in the same place where you left off, Lauren, thanking all of the innovators, founders, entrepreneurs who submitted ideas, especially thanking the four of you with fantastic ideas that you brought today for a company whose aspiration has been over the course of the past 180 years to just try to improve consumers' lives day to day. I mean, just seeing your ideas and the quality of the things that you're working on is really energizing and inspiring and motivating. So thank you for that. I also want to thank the team behind putting the Innovation Challenge together. Thank you guys for that. We promised there could only be one winner, and I am very pleased to congratulate Nano Spun as the winner of our third virtual Innovation Challenge. So congratulations, Ohad. Very well deserved. And now over to you for some words.
Thank you so very much. First, I want to congratulate my fellow finalists. I was listening here fascinated by the amazing thing and the ideas and the innovation and the technology. So thank you all. I was honored to be part of this group. Thank you so much for the judges for trusting us and believing in the revolution that we're bringing forward. We look forward to collaborate with Procter & Gamble and create a win-win partnership that revolutionize the way the industry works with sales on various applications, starting with beauty, but going forward into the medical and health applications, which is critical and creating a different future going ahead. So thank you so very much. We're honored and humbled to be elected. So thanks.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. And now back to you, Lauren.
Congratulations, Ohad. Very excited for you and very excited for all the finalists. It was a very difficult situation to get down to 4 finalists. So that is an honor, but winning is even a bigger honor. We will be in touch with all 4 finalists in the next couple of weeks to talk further. But I really want to thank you all for joining us here today for our 5th Innovation Challenge. I think you are as excited as I am to hear all the great work happening out there by entrepreneurs and founders as they go on this very difficult journey to serve consumers and make lives better. Please follow us once again at P&G Ventures Studio on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and then come visit our website. Thank you so much for joining us today, and look for our next Innovation Challenge coming soon. Thank you.